Our boys are back in the video, and today we're talking about why the Houston Rockets should keep Armoni Brooks, because when he got called up from the G League, he was absolutely amazing for this team. I mean, obviously he had some really good stats that we'll get into later, and honestly he fits in with the timeline being just 23. So what's up? My name is Jae'sean. If you guys have video, drop in below, press subscribe button, and let's get to the video. So, Armoni Brooks is definitely a special case on the Houston Rockets because he's still on a two-way contract. I mean, we signed him. What was it? I actually don't remember when we signed him. I mean, we obviously called him up from the G League, signed him to a two-way. I think it was like around. I think it was like a month after we called up KPJ and KJ from the G League. I'm not too sure because I definitely remember only KPJ and KJ getting called up from the G League, and then like a few months later, like Anthony Lamb and then Armoni Brooks came in. So honestly, like when Armoni Brooks was here, I mean, he didn't really show out too much. But then like I think it was like the what was it? Like the next 2 to 3 games after his debut, he dropped. I don't know what it was, man, but I don't know what he did. Like I definitely did make a video on that. If you guys want to check that out, like I'll put it in the cards right now. It was actually one of my highest viewed videos at the time. But you know, Armoni Brooks, like he went off one the game. I think I don't remember too much about the game, but I think he had like pretty decent high scoring game. And honestly, every Houston Rockets fan was getting hyped about him. I mean, obviously, like this is a guy that can shoot the three ball, just shooting it at around 38% from three this season, which is really good. So his overall season stats are pretty good. I mean, 11 points per game, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Not honestly too bad for his rookie season. Yes, he is a rookie at 23 years old, man. I mean, is he a rookie? Actually, I don't think he is a rookie. Actually, no, he is a rookie. Yeah, he is a rookie. So, for the most part, I mean, I think he'd be a really good piece on this roster off the bench. I mean, a 3-point shooting god off the bench. I mean, he did break Damian Lillard's 3-point record in the first 17 games, making 48, I want to say. So, yeah, Armoni Brooks, like he's definitely an underrated player on this team. I mean, his overall stats are really good too. Obviously, 38% from three. That's his really outstanding thing about his game. But also, he has a 41% field goal percentage from the field, which is really good. I mean, his free throw is not really that good. 58% from the free throw, not all that great. But honestly, like he really did pop off in the last what was it month of May. I mean, like he had a really good stretch. I mean, against the Hawks on what was it May 16th, he had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Against the Clippers before that, 15 points. Against the Lakers, 24 points. I remember that game, man. That was a really good game. So yeah, Armoni Brooks, like, he's definitely underrated. I think he needs more minutes. I mean, over the season, only averaging 26 minutes per game. I don't know, man. I mean, like, if we sign Armoni Brooks and then let Sterling Brown and David Nwaba walk, I wouldn't be too mad about it because Sterling Brown and Armoni Brooks are literally like the exact same player. Like, they can both shoot the three. I mean, I think Sterling Brown's shooting the three ball a little bit better than him, but you know, obviously Sterling was playing more than him, and then Armoni Brooks only came in around March to April, so didn't really have too much time to play around. But Sterling Brown, yeah, he is shooting the three ball a little bit better at 42%. But obviously, Armoni Brooks 3 years younger than Sterling Brown, and honestly has way better stats than Sterling Brown. I mean, Sterling has what 8 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist, compared to Armani's, which is 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, I will say that he didn't play all too many games this season. He only played 20, whereas Sterling Brown played 51 this season. So honestly, 51 compared to 20. The stats are obviously going to be a little bit different, but I think Armoni Brooks has a lot more upside than Sterling Brown. I mean, I'm not downplaying Sterling Brown's offensive and defensive abilities, just that I think like I think he's like really solid, but I feel like Armoni Brooks could be way better than him. I mean, obviously Sterling Brown is a really good 3-point shot. He has some really solid defense. Can come off the bench, score like 20 points per game. But Armoni Brooks, I mean, I believe in this guy, man. I mean, he has a really good shot. I mean, a lot of times where we just run like a pick and roll or like off ball screens for Armoni Brooks, like, you know, he can make that open three. I mean, he can make a deep three too. His form is really clean, and that's why I like about his game. I mean, he's not too afraid of taking that shot. And also he's really good at driving too. I mean, like around the end of May, he was starting to take a lot more drives to the rim, a lot more layups, a lot more dunks. And it's definitely apparent to see like he's growing in his game. I mean, his offensive game is starting to get better. When he first came out of the G League, he was just shooting threes. You know, he was a spot up shooter, but then obviously when KPJ went down with that ankle injury and then John Wall got sidelined, Kelly Olynyk and Armoni Brooks were the only two ball handlers on the team. Obviously, Olynyk was the center for this team, but he also played the point forward. So with Olynyk playing the center, Armoni Brooks was our only true point guard, and he was running it really well for the most part. Only averaging like 2 assists, but going to the hole, like getting that dunk, getting that drive, like he was doing a really good job of that around the end of May, obviously, when most of our guys were out. And then obviously like Kyrie Thomas were there too, like, but I think he was off the bench at that time. So yeah, Armoni Brooks, like, he's definitely a really good player. I could definitely see him as our sixth man if we decide to trade Eric Gordon. I mean, maybe Kyrie Thomas could be our sixth man, but I don't really see Kyrie Thomas like being on this team for longer than 2 seasons, I guess, because, you know, obviously like he had a really good stretch around the end of May, being on a 10-day contract and then getting signed to a multi-year deal. But honestly, like, like we had no other player like handling the ball. I mean, who was handling the ball? Armoni Brooks, Kelly Olynyk. I mean, obviously, like, those are the only two players that can handle the ball on this team. So Kyrie Thomas, like, obviously, like, he had a really good stretch. I mean, 16 points per game, 4 rebounds and 5 assists, like, really good stats. I think he could definitely become solid right beside Armoni Brooks. That, I don't know, man. I think Armoni Brooks, like, I'm really high on Armoni. He just needs to work on defense, you know. I think that's definitely a liability for him, is that he just can't play defense for his life. He is only 6'3" and 195 pounds, so definitely kind of concerning. But, you know, his offensive ability is definitely something we could look at and say that he could have a really good role in this team off the bench. Honestly, like, I think he could fill in the role of Eric Gordon. I mean, Eric Gordon could definitely mentor him off the bench. Obviously, like, you know, take some tips out of Eric Gordon, you know, because obviously he's a good 3-and-D type of player. So he can take some tips out of Eric Gordon's game. And honestly, like, I think that'd be a really good role. Or maybe John Wall can mentor him too, because honestly, like, he's 30 years old, been an all-star, he's been through it all. So kind of mentor Armoni Brooks to be that point guard off the bench. I mean, maybe John Wall's probably already mentoring KPJ, but, you know, why not mentor two people? So for the most part, I think the Houston Rockets should guarantee his contract, because I'm definitely high on Armoni Brooks. I think he could become a really good six-man, really good role player off the bench. So I think he could be someone, maybe like a really good spot-up shooter off the bench. I mean, honestly, like, if he develops some defense too, I mean, that'd be really helpful. 3-and-D type of players are really good in this league, man. I mean, they just fit in any system, 3-and-D type of players. So just look at Robert Covington, man. So I think Armoni Brooks can be definitely solid, and hopefully Rafael Stone signs him to a guaranteed contract. So that's the video. Just get the video, drop it below, press the subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.